Okay. Things should be fine. It's been a hot minute. So, there we go. Hello, welcome. Very early stream. I am not expecting, like, any regulars at all. If there are any regular viewers here, go to bed. It's like 5:30 in the morning for me. I can only imagine what that is for a lot of my regular viewers. Well, I say that. Some of them might only be 1 a.m. But still, go to bed! I'm only here because I can't sleep. So yeah, I've been making some pretty decent progress on just leveling everything. And it is a new day now. Ooh, just basic area. Cool. So, oh yes, restrain Gitterin. Only that had been a couple days ago. Drop by any time. Yeah, I have Tecker left for leveling up to 75 to have on this account every class to 75 that gives a bonus. So, hello Gunner Montana. Hello Irregular. What are you doing up? Go to bed. I say in jest. Welcome in. I know Braver is still saying level 13. That's because Enterprise is level 75 at Braver. Because Enterprise uses a bow. So, kind of had to use Braver on her. Past that, it'll be just basically getting Hero to 75, should I choose to. I might not. I don't like Hero. I just don't like it. So, gotta get my Tecker up. I don't know what else I might do this stream. I don't even know how long this stream is gonna be. But, you know, I'll be doing stuff and things. That is fair. That is very fair. My sleep schedule's just gotten completely just fricked up. So, yeah. Yeah, I could probably do this. Like, I've just accepted that my body wants to be awake at this hour. Like, there's not much I can do about it. Alrandia. I do have to ask, because we don't really have those up here. Is it just a meme that fights happen at Waffle House, or is that a real thing? I think it's Waffle House anyway. Because we for sure have fights that happen in, like, the parking lot of Tim Hortons. But even those don't tend to be all that big. I honestly thought it was just a meme. I don't think you can blame me. That sounds unreal. That's just a place that, you know, fights just happen. It's just expected, you know? Man, it does not want to give me EXP up. There we go. I'll take attack up M to get EXP up. That's fair. I'd love to have any sort of job. I did recently reapply to the supermarket I worked at and hated, and had to apply via chatbot and got rejected via chatbot. What is this world we live in? Like, my application was, no joke, filled out via chatbot. I mean, hell, I'd love to work at, like some sort of, like, fast food place, specifically at night. Because, like, it's gonna be more empty at night, and I just like the night. Jeez. I was hoping that might just be a Loblaws thing. Because they own the supermarket that I was applying to, but okay, it's... Well, I should have just guessed it's everywhere. Every day I lose a little more faith in humanity. I need to get around to applying to more positions at this supermarket, because, like, they do have other openings right now. I just don't want to talk to the chatbot again. Maybe I'll get better results if I try to rizz up the chatbot. I don't know. Can you imagine, though? I could see somebody trying to, rizz up the chatbot. I was just giving bland, like, corporate answers. Because, like, I don't know what from it they were gonna look at, so, like... Maybe that's why I got rejected. I wasn't polite enough to their chatbot. I just want a standard application, man. That's all I want. Let me fill out an application, give them my resume. You know, the way things have been done for freaking ever. Okay, have I... I have, okay. I don't mind filling it out online. I'd rather a paper application. That way I can take it back in person, and then if, you know, management is free at that exact moment, be like, hey, can I just interview right now? You know, here's my paperwork, like... No, Randia, please. I've gotten to the point of being unemployed for so freaking long that I've given up and reapplied to a place I hate. I'm almost tempted at this point to just go to, like, assistance. Because if nothing else, one, it would be a bit of money while they try to find somewhere willing to hire me. But two, I get the feeling I'd get a job a lot faster. Because they'd be turning to these companies and going, hey, hire this person, the government will subsidize it. I just really don't want to go to assistance. I hate dealing with them. And that mostly just comes down to one experience I had with them, kind of coloring my whole perception of them. Is my mother used to be on disability before she started getting her old age pension and stuff and didn't need it anymore. They at one point wanted to talk, one of the people at assistance wanted to talk with me for some reason. And as far as I knew, this was just casual chat. So I was treating it like a casual chat. And at the time, I was full-on night owl. So when I had yawned during this casual conversation, he had questioned if I was sleeping well, and I basically joked that I just live like a vampire, because this was like 2 p.m. I was tired because I wanted to be in bed. I was usually asleep at that time. And, like, that's, in my mind, not an uncommon thing for people to say when they sleep during the day and are awake at night. Maybe that's just me. I've legitimately heard people referring to night shifts as graveyard shift, vampire shift, crypt shift. You know. So, like, I didn't think anything of it. He thought I was being dead-ass serious that I thought I was a vampire and I needed a mental health screening because of that. Like, what? No! I'm making a joke in what I was under the impression was a casual conversation. But apparently that's on my record at social services now. That they literally wrote it up that I was to get a mental health evaluation. This was like 8 years ago? I still haven't had that evaluation. I've tried to get it. Because Lord knows there's things wrong with my head. I would love to know. Like, I mean, shit, it's possible I might need disability. You know, there's that sort of level of things being wrong in my head, and I know stuff's wrong in my head. But the hospital's just never gotten back to me. So, you know. Because, I mean, it can't be normal to, you know, have nightmares every single night. That can't be a normal. Unless it is. But I don't think so. It's part of the reason I never really sleep that well. I did it, like, I tried to get the evaluation because the way it was worded to my mother was that if I didn't get the evaluation, they were going to take her off of her disability. Because that makes sense. So I made the effort. I literally went directly into the hospital at one point, and right to their mental health area, where I saw 3 secretaries. I tried to make an appointment. No, you need to call. Okay. Walked down to the payphone in the hospital. Called. No answer. There was 3 people there. Ooh, rainbow key. Heck frickin' yeah. Those are exceedingly rare, especially at level 59.
I've been expecting you.
I forgot to do any harvesting. I have 99 of them. I wonder if I can send... my auxiliary to gather those. But yeah, that was basically the moment I gave up trying to get this this appointment. Okay, I can't. Because, like, if they're not going to answer their phone when I know for sure there's people there, they're just not going to answer the phone.
Drop by anytime.
That's my assumption anyway.
Drop by anytime. Which quest would you like?
Okay, now, do I do the Rainbow Key as Tekker? Or do I swap to Summoner Tekker so I get a higher level Rainbow Key? Higher level Rainbow Key sounds better. Yeah, and people that actually care. Working in, like, secretarial positions. And, like, I will fully grant that these people are probably overworked. Like, I don't want to give them too much shit, because they are probably massively overworked, especially because I'm in rural Canada. Like, there was probably only actually one secretary for that department there. It was just probably the lunch break of a couple others. You know, and they were just chilling on lunch break. You know, I don't want to give them too much crap, but I'd been trying for like a year to get this evaluation. And just ultimately gave up. Okay, I will be less effective as a summoner, but I'll be gaining a lot of Tekker experience. Okay, before I forget as well, let me put these into storage. Same with these. Need to get rid of these. Fucking junk. Junk from my trunk. I also want to note, not visible and kind of off topic, but I ended up shaving my beard today. Well, earlier today. I've been thinking of doing it for a while because, like, especially if I do get a job interview, I'm gonna have to shave it anyway. But, man, kind of miss it already. I do have a friend that I was like, hey, so, honest opinion, tell me which one I should stick with. And I'm waiting to hear back from her. Because that'll, you know, I trust she will be honest with me. Because she knows she can't hurt my feelings. I do that myself plenty.
I wish you the best of luck.
Let's do my 2 silver keys. Just to maybe get Summoner a little higher level before the rainbow. I'm using specifically Summoner for those who haven't played this game, because Summoner gives a higher amount of experience to its subclass than any other job. Summoner is kind of the class trainer. Like, you can pretty reliably train anything as Summoner once you have your Summoner fully set up and good to go. And Summoner makes quick work of the keys. Yeah, there's also a chance that I'm also just a lot more polite than I really should be when it comes to dealing with people, but like, I just can't bring myself to get upset with the workers that they're understaffed and probably very overworked. It's not me hiring them, so, you know. It's not like I could pay for, like, therapy if I needed it. I am unemployed. So, like, it wouldn't do me much good, but it would be nice to know there's stuff wrong with me. Well, know for sure. Know for sure what is wrong with me. That's more accurate. 2, 1, go. And there's subclass to 60. Ah, yes, because being more active totally fixes the brain's chemical balance. Yeah, you're probably depressed. A lot of people are these days, because it's a chemical imbalance in the brain, and, you know, it's a pretty common chemical imbalance. A lot of people that don't even think they have depression, because their brain is chemically imbalanced. Oops, did not mean to pick that up. Armor, this, junk. Oh wait, don't need it. I need 5 of those to get anything out of them, so I'm just not gonna bother picking them up. Whoops. Didn't realize I could just use that skill. I thought I had to have something targeted. I know I have probably... I've probably had some level of depression for a very long time. Like, knowing some of the basic symptoms of it, I've been showing signs of it since I was like 8, if that. It's what I can remember, so possibly longer. Because, again, it's chemical imbalance. It can happen to anybody without even catalyst, like... I do hope you can get in to see somebody at some point, though. I feel the fact I'm Canadian should already tell you my stance on... on stuff. Rainbow key time! Time for a lot of explosions. Ah! That is fair. I swear you've told me that before and I've just forgotten. So that's probably not a big surprise. You've been around long enough to know my memory is crap. The Rappies! Occasionally. I've seen Rand around a few times. Not for a while, but he's had a fair bit going on. Jaden's has mentioned a few, messaged a few times in the Discord. With him, from what he's made mention of, it's basically just a case of his sleep schedule does not match my new stream schedule, so... What with me streaming predominantly in the day hours. And loot! Holy crap. That was a lot of stuff. You know, I had immediately thought, that sounds like a harmonizer. And yeah, that's a harmonizer. It's garbage. In general, I've been going live at around noon Atlantic. Somewhere in that range. Because for the longest time, I've been awake during the day. So it just made sense. Ooh, that's a lot. It's a lot of points. Is this part of that same set? No. Okay. That's probably why. I'm gonna put this away still. This, I don't think it's part of anything. No, it's not. It's not part of anything. I have better armor. It can go away. This is nice. This is so nice. An already compressed triple stack pancake. Like, heck yeah. I got my Techer some levels. And I'm pretty sure I already have the Techer cubes. I do not already have the Techer cubes. Okay. I thought I did. I might have turned them into experience at some point. Summoner cubes, hero cubes. Don't need those. I've already done those ones. I don't need those ones.
What would you like to do?
That is fair. That's basically the sleep schedule I used to have before I tried being awake through the day. Slorp. Man, the hair on this model. This is actually a slightly updated version of my model. I've touched up the colors a little bit. Just a little bit. 2 points on Summoner. You're... where? I suppose this. Yeah, longer pets. My Techer jumped 6 levels. I'm at the point with my Techer of like, I don't know where to even put things anymore. Suppose I could make D-Band better. Yeah, why not? Sounds like you're probably just naturally nocturnal. Some of us humans are. Which, if you think about it, makes sense. Like, some of us literally had to be awake at night to protect the pack. So, like... some humans just have nocturnal circadian rhythms for that reason. Hey, I gotta like... I don't think I have room for those, but... at least the nocturnal ones. To other people's jobs to do that during the day. Ooh, I can just equip these now. Heck yeah. Wait. Why didn't I have this on? I guess at some point when I swapped to this, I just didn't have the ring. That's probably why. I'll hang on to these. Even the harmonizer. It's garbage, but I'll keep it. I mean, I'm garbage. I may as well keep garbage. Just makes sense. Harmonizers are so weird. Because, like... literally, none of their base stats matter. Because their stats just don't matter. What matters is their potential. And, like... the only... like, the best harmonizer is... the Rukdos staff. Which I've already got. Which is a 14-star harmonizer. There are 15-star ones, but their effects aren't as good. Which is a problem. Yep, Saber has passed out. Rip Saber.
Which quest are you up for?
Well, let's see what else is in recommended. Oh, Train Gitterin. There's a thing for that today. That's convenient.
I've been expecting you.
Daily order. Express Train Gitterin. Heck yeah.
Drop by any time. Which quest would you like?
Let's go fight a train. A kaiju train. I wasn't sure if it was actually going to pop this up for me. Yeah, nothing that's really worth my time. The 30,000 experience might sound like a lot, but it's really not. Tori Hutsugi. Melrandia.
I'm thankful to join the fray.
I can take a pick in a moment. Or a peek. Hello! Kulshedira Edris. I believe. I might be over-pronouncing your name, in which I apologize. I feel like it's more they wanted to tell a new story and wanted to try to be more standard MMO with New Genesis. And it didn't really work. It's a nice hat. And like, I don't overly mind New Genesis. I'm a bit of a weird PSO player that way. Like, they aren't the same. And going in knowing they aren't the same, I feel kind of makes New Genesis easier to play. Because, like, if you're going in expecting this experience and then you don't get it, that's gonna feel bad. If you go in expecting a more modern MMO, it's definitely not bad. I've played worse modern MMOs. 14. You know. Yeah. I fully understand that. From what I understand, the Japanese server is still decently populated for the base game, but like North America has just given up on it. Well, / global. Which is a little sad. But like, I also can't blame people. A lot of people don't like just playing the same content forever. They want updates, and base game isn't getting those anymore. I still very much enjoy it though, and it's still like the best story in MMOs, so. Which, you know, don't tell a 14 fan, but also, for anyone new, I will throw shade at 14. I enjoy Final Fantasy 14, but man, is it not a good game. It's okay, but it has so many problems. Though the community has slowly been waking up to the problems. Slowly. It's probably already way too late, but they're getting there. I'm proud of them. New Genesis is still very active, though. I could be sitting here rambling for like 8 hours about all the problems I've had with 14. And like, if anyone likes Final Fantasy 14, like, again, I enjoyed what I've played of it. It's just, it's not great. Ooh, gold key. Sweet. I don't care about swapping the summoner to get the most out of that. Like, so, with Final Fantasy XIV, biggest issue right off the bat is A Realm Reborn. I feel like even a lot of the major fans of 14 can agree that is a problem. That whole chunk of the game is slow, full of padding, the pacing is horrible, and almost nothing set up plot-wise matters. At least up until the end of Stormblood. I can't speak for further than that. I'm free trial. Like, it's just bad. And I get it. I know why it's bad. I've had times when I've mentioned that and people go, yeah, but A Realm Reborn was what they threw together in a hurry to try to make up for the original 14, and I get that. They've had many years to make it better, though. Like, they've had time. I played MapleStory back when that was new. And MapleStory started with, like, your, what was it, level 8, 9 quest, somewhere in that range, was go kill 650 orange mushrooms. That was later upped to 750. And you're competing with every other new player to kill these orange mushrooms. The reason for this is because there wasn't endgame content. They just didn't have any at first. So they didn't want anybody getting to max level and then stopping playing because there was nothing to do. So they made it a slog. You no longer have to do that quest. It's still there as an optional quest. And it's been lowered to 150. But you don't have to ever do it. It's optional now. Like, they just get you into your character's story. They took the padding and threw it away because they didn't need it anymore. 14 could do the same, and I've heard they've done that. Like, I have heard that they have lowered the amount of padding and extra quests, but man, do they need to go back and do more. And I feel like part of the problem is, like, when I've made mention of that to someone I talk to who plays way too much 14. Like, he's made mention of, well, he's played through A Realm Reborn 6 times and he enjoys it. It's like, how? How can you enjoy this, for one? And two, good for you, most people don't enjoy it. But anytime you make mention of, it's bad, like, no it isn't, he enjoys it. And he gets louder and goes on longer because there's more to try to argue in its defense than there is against it. And I imagine that's why A Realm Reborn has never been made better, is there's too many loud players that are like, no, it's amazing. And it's not. Like, even the end of A Realm Reborn, which, yeah, I've streamed it. I'll give it away as a spoiler. You're led to believe that all of your Scion buddies that you're supposed to have learned to love throughout A Realm Reborn are all dead now. To nameless NPCs that realistically you should be able to just beat through, no problem. You yourself have fought worse than the Bronze Blades? I think that's what they're called. Like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to believe that they're a threat to me, but, you know. And that's what leads into the first expansion of Heavensward, where nothing really happens. I mean, sure, you help the racists be a bit less racist. The Ishgardians are still probably pretty racist, though. Racist against dragons that they have been fighting for a very long time. Because their ancestors betrayed the dragons, and the dragons aren't happy about this. But, like, there's really no character development throughout that expansion. And you can tell they didn't really want to do anything major with the characters. Jesus, Silver Key. Presumably because they knew they didn't have their North American voice actors. and didn't want to do anything major with the characters without those voice actors having a say, is kind of what it feels like. Could I super hard this? I probably could. I'm just gonna want defense up. So, like, wow, we're a drop right away. So, like, Alphino, the character that you're with the entire time, doesn't really develop. He just kind of exists. Same with the... oh god, what's her name? The toddler. The secretary. I can't think of her name. The little one in pink with a hat makes everyone's outfit. Like, she doesn't really change either. Like, there's no character development. It's just a kind of nothing expansion story-wise. Yeah, she's a toddler. I hate Lalafels. They're toddlers. They move like toddlers. It's one of those things of... Lalafels just make me uncomfortable. Because they're toddlers. And I've seen people complain that they can't dress their toddlers up in revealing outfits. That's part of my issue with 14, is the community. But the developers gave them this ability, so... But yeah, like... Alize, that's her name. I was gonna say Alphino and his sister. Those two, like... they're so stupid. I haven't gotten to talking about Stormblood yet, but they are probably the dumbest characters that are part of the plot in Stormblood. Which is saying something, because there's a lot of dumb on, you know, on display during that expansion. None of their rebel groups are good freedom fighters. Yeah, these are episode 6. These things are frustrating to fight as a force. Tekker just doesn't care. Tekker doesn't care about anything. Speaking of, I should care even less and actually put these on. Yeah, it's because I'm subclass to my Atoll, which is like level 90. 85, 90, somewhere in that range. And Atoll is super defensive. I'm just leveling Tekker, basically. This thing's weak spot is indeed its crotch. Which is a mood. Mine is too, so, you know, I can't give it too much crap. But yeah, like... they definitely tried to make emotional moments during Heavensward. It just didn't work, at least to me. And I know to some people it did, because I've heard people be like, "Aw, man, the final showdown of Hraesvelgar and Nidhogg. Yeah, that dragon is a thing. And there's 2 of them there. But like, that thing is like, oh, the backing track is so emotional. It's like, yeah, if you can hear it over the gameplay, you probably can't. You kind of have to stop and listen to it on its own to fully hear it. Because there's a lot of spells and stuff happening above it. Sir, you probably shouldn't smash your face into the floor. Yeah, I know you are, my man. And, like, Estinian, at least through Heavensward, is not a good character. He's just obnoxious. And nothing about him is even remotely likable. I mean, I'm sure I'd like a lot of the music. There's good music to the game. It's just the story that goes with it, at least till the end of Stormblood, is not impressive. Especially as a PSO2 player. Because there's something I can talk about Stormblood related that you can really feel Square just kind of copied Sega's homework for. And that being Lise. Or whatever her initial name was. But like, Lisa's whole thing. Her older sister died protecting her from an evil force. She was basically taken under the wing of a male character who was tied to her older sister. You know, an important figure to her. Be resistant to... Okay. And then, you know, through the death of this male character, she ends up finding herself and, you know, gaining the confidence she needs to stand out on her own. Then you get Malfonsina / Malfonrandia. In PSO2. Which was a character first, who is a character whose older sister died protecting her from an evil force. She was taken under the wing of a male character, and only through the death of that male character did she find the confidence to step out on her own and become her own person using her own name again. It's literally the same story. Square just took Malfonrandia's story and put it in 14. Some, like, 3-4 years later. Like... It's just like, really, guys? You couldn't have come up with something of your own? You had to almost one-to-one copy it? What is my Wanda at? Okay, my Wanda is definitely... Alright. That is very fair. I'm gonna keep rambling. Because, like... I don't mind when games borrow things. Like, I don't. And, like, if you're gonna copy an MMO, it may as well be PSO2. No, I have nothing to identify. Where was I going? What was I doing? But, like, at least put some effort into changing it a little bit. You know, at least try. Well, I suppose they did change it a little bit because Papalymo wasn't an abusive dick and Get 'em Halt in here was an abusive dick. That's really the only difference. Like, even down to the character in question that changes is a shy character who, you know, will rush in,
It's nice to see you.
you know, this being Melfinrandia. Like, Melfinrandia here would rush in and do dangerous things for Gedamholt. And Lise, or whatever her initial name was, I forget what her initial name was, would do the same for not just Papalymo, but all of the Scions. Regularly, she was rushing into danger because that's what she thought her older sister would be doing. No other real reason, which is what Melrandia here was doing. I keep saying Melfinrandia. It's just Melrandia. Blah. Like, and like, Melrandia's story was told in episode 1 of PSO2. So that was 2012. Stormblood, where this story was told in Final Fantasy XIV, was released 2017. So 5 years later. It also hadn't been that long since Sega agreed to do a crossover event with Final Fantasy XIV in PSO2 here. We had a fight against Odin for Heavensward, which was a couple years earlier. So, like, Square was aware of this game. And blatantly stole story elements. Didn't steal anything that made them actually impactful, because, like, before this big revelation, Lise might have showed up in quests maybe 10-20 times throughout A Realm Reborn, and then she's gone for all of Heavensward. She's missing. And then, even through Stormblood, she's barely around. So, like, this is a character you're never shown. You have no real connection to.
Drop by anytime.
Meanwhile, here... We get all of them. Let's see. In... which one of these is it? This one, I believe. Yes. This is where you're introduced to Gedamholt and Sina. / Randia. You then encounter them again... here. That's Gedamholt, by the way. He looks like a dick. It works. You're never asked to forgive him either, which is great. Because I don't think anybody could. He then shows up again here, where you get to see more of them. Like... And this may look like a lot, but like these are all just little cutscenes, basically. Like, this is one combat quest. This is another one. You've basically, back in the day, you've done 2 expeditions at this point. And you've seen him like 3-4 times. It's 3 at this point. And then here you get a cutscene directly with just Sina / Randia. This is a fun little side bit. Here's another one where you get more interaction with just her. Yeah, and this is more where your character's going, effectively, why are you hanging out with this guy? He's a dick. But, you know, she doesn't explain herself, but, you know. I think they show up again here, too. Fiore and the Lillipans are just great. And here they are again! And this is both of them this time. I'm probably missing a few instances where they show up, because it doesn't always say the characters involved. But here they are again! It's explaining more of Gedemhalt's past. And then you get Melrandia again, learning more about her. Like, you have so many quests where you're learning about her, you're learning her history, and it is pretty obvious that she's playing an integral part in this story. And then this quest is the one that made everybody absolutely hate Gedemhalt. Because this is the quest where he tries to kill Randia. He legit just punches her in the gut, attempting to kill her, so that Darkfall's Elder, basically Big Bad, can inhabit her body, and then he can finish the job once Elder has taken over her body. Because he blames her for her older sister's death. And has been taking it out on her this whole time, when all she wants is just to see him smile again. And then you get this quest where, you know, you get to hear a bit of her talking about missing Gedemhalt and learn more about it. And then you get this quest, which also really... Man. This quest is Malfuncina, quote-unquote, basically encountering clones of herself that are telling her what she's been thinking of herself this whole time, as well as a mix of what Gedemhalt felt about her. And it's a heavy quest, and immediately followed up by Huey's introduction. But, you know, I think people needed it after... And I don't think she played much of a part for the rest of episode 1. Episode 1 was just full of heavy moments, man. These two characters here, Kuna and... God, what's... Hadrid. Hadrid's the big dragon. They're obviously not blood brother and sister, but effectively brother and sister. They're both experiments. They've both been horrifically experimented upon. And Hadrid basically trashed a facility because the scientists at that facility were going to perform a potentially lethal experiment on Kuna, and he just could not bring himself to allow that to happen, and in the process became a target of this organization who hired Kuna to kill him. This is a sad freaking quest. And then you get all the little side quest bits, which I'm pretty sure in here somewhere there was some mention of Gedemhalt and the others as well. Gedemhalt, Cena. This is also best character. Reza is best character. You can never convince me otherwise. I'm just gonna replay this scene. Not even her best scene, but
one.
I need to turn up the game. I just realized I haven't turned it up. She just had to tell someone.
I gotta say, guns are the bee's knees.
They are.
They're easy on my hands, and there's nothing more graceful than death by gunshot. The way they crumple, I'm getting goosebumps. You? It's this feeling of total domination. Just talking about it is getting me in the mood again. On that note, I'm out. Adieu! Adieu!
Raisa's the best. Of which, because I haven't gotten there in the story quests yet, I don't want to spoil something, but Raisa is a lot more important than you might think. I have this now. Okay, I've gotten those, so I no longer need Hitsugi and Tori. I have now done 100 quests with them. Need to clean out my storage at some point.
Which quest would you like?
Yeah, like, there's so much of episode 1. And given it's all contained in episode 1, like, it makes the story more impactful than with how 14 did it, where Lisa's story is a realm reborn, nothing, Stormblood. You know, and see, Reza, yes, she likes shooting people, and baddies, mostly baddies, though she's allowed to shoot you 3 times. She is allowed 3 accidental misfires. This is established in the story. She is allowed 3. I can't really do that.
I wish you the best of luck.
But, the robot people in Phantasy Star, casts, those are, basically, casts are created from other races. Reza used to be a human with immense photonic ability. So basically think like super mage, but a human, and she was very sickly and frail. So as far as ARCS was concerned, which is the organization we work for, that was a waste. Because Reza was special. Reza was immensely powerful. But because of her frail body, if she actually fought at her full potential, she would die. So she was forced into becoming a caste. This was before they had actually figured out how to do that safely, and they did kind of break her mind in the process. Like, but there are bits of that basically little girl still in there, and that's what makes Reza just the best. Because, like, there are 2 people in Reza. That's about all I can say without spoiling things I haven't gotten to story-wise. I could actually just go back to the story. I'd probably get to that scene. Well, no, that's a good bit off. And, like, she actually tells you this decently early on, too. That, like, she basically tells you the story of Little Reza, which may not actually have been her name. A lot of casts get new names when they're made. You also are supposed to lose all memory, and Reza didn't. I will say, for those who have been watching through all of my streams of the story, or just who have played this game, but haven't gotten through all the story yet, you've actually you meet Reza on Omega. She's there. Omega being basically a memory of the universe. Is the best way of describing it. Also, I keep completely blanking on using Shift and D-Band. I should not be blanking on these. I get some pretty hefty buffs from them. Because that's the whole point of Tekker. Reza is scary powerful. She just never really applies herself because she's having fun. Like, at one point in the story, you meet the character Alma, who is effectively, at this point, nothing more than a spirit. Anyone with a direct connection to Xion, basically an omniscient god that's now dead, anyone with a direct connection to Xion can see Alma, but no one else can. Reza can't see her, but Reza knows she's there. Nobody else does. Like, no one else that can't see Alma knows Alma's there. Reza followed her around the ship, not knowing exactly what she was following, but, you know, knew something was there. Probably because Alma was trapped inside Omega. And thus, Reza, being technically in Omega herself, could find her. Knew her energy more, is more accurate, I suppose. PSO2's story is very much a story that I would say, well, I would recommend basically everybody experience. Playing the game may not be the most optimal way of doing that. I say that just simply because of the amount of storage space you need to play this game. To play the original PSO2 here... Oh god, it's adapted. God damn it. To play the original game here, you need like 150 gigabytes of storage space. Also, this enemy adapts to your elements and weapon. And then takes heavily reduced damage. So currently it's resisting my rod and light. So I swap to my Talus and hit it with Fire and Dark. I'm actually getting rare drops from this. Holy crap. I mean, like, Phantasy Star as a whole, it's basically true of... saying this statement is true of all of the games. If the stakes aren't high, it's not Phantasy Star, which also helps with caring about things. Because, like, at every point throughout the main story of this game, the universe is potentially ending. Like, you know, just to come back to the story stuff here.
Which quest would you like?
At literally like this point, I mean, Dark Falls Elder is back. A being that 40 years before this point in the story had nearly wiped out the universe and was only really barely sealed away. And Get 'em Halt just revived it. Because he's a genius. The Dark Falls in general, all of them, all 4 of them, are quite dangerous. Elder is the most destructive. Luther is the most scheming. Elder being big boy in the middle. Luther being the one not fit. Well, no, that's Persona. Luther isn't in this image. Persona here is... Persona's you, actually. Apprentice here is not concerned with much other than beauty. And Gemini, way back in the back there, just wants something to play with. Will you be a toy that doesn't break? Gemini will find out. But, like, at this point in the story, Zeno, a character who's basically been your mentor this whole time, is presumed dead. Oh, Gemini could break you. Gemini could. Gemini has had thousands upon thousands of years to learn how to break toys. Like, Get 'em Halt is dead. Well, he's Elder now. He's effectively dead. Xion here, who's been kind of your guide this whole time, who again is basically an omniscient being, is effectively going, I don't know what's going on here, but you've managed to split the timeline in such a way that I don't know what's going on. So there's a chance things might actually turn out good. Like, it does have a brief respite here, basically for the Arcs tournament. But then you immediately go into Apprentice's story stuff, which that lady there is actually this dude's sister, having been possessed by Apprentice, because that's how the Falls work. They don't have a physical body of their own, they take other people's. She's also not properly Apprentice, because when Apprentice was trying to take over the body of Aphen's sister, Gemini showed up and ate Apprentice. So, only part of Apprentice made it into Aphen's sister. And then it immediately goes into the storyline of freaking, Kuna. Like, not really universe ending, but depressing as frick. I wonder if I can find... Yeah, the whole beginning of episode 2 is Zeno's partner basically having a mental breakdown and deciding that with Zeno no longer around, she has to take up being a fighter because, well, a hunter, because no one else has, and Zeno's role was so important that someone has to do it, right? Even though she's a force, she's not cut out for this. a new planet being discovered where the natives can somehow speak our language, but we've never met them before. Learning that there is a lot of things going on in Wolpal that aren't natural. Theodore here is going completely crazy because his crush is dead. Him then getting taken in by Luther, who is kind of the villain of the first 3 episodes, and transformed from a Newman into a Dooman, which is basically a Newman but with horns and different color eyes. They tend to be a lot more aggressive and murderous. This is a bean, though. Io's a bean, and I will hear nothing else. She's actually just a sweet little bean. You then slowly learn that one, there's another Xion. His name's Zhao. He's obnoxious. But you slowly learn that Luther is behind everything on Wolpal. And that Luther is trying to have you killed. Trying to see... Luther made a lot of Luthers. Where was this? Trying to find Reza's thing. I'm pretty sure it was a side quest. Maybe it wasn't. Where is it? This is literally end of the universe. If you fail. Like... This is you saving Matoy, which you've been being told all throughout all 3 episodes that is impossible. Persona keeps telling you it's impossible. And Persona is you, just time traveled and been through more than you have, and believes it's impossible. Trying to find Reza's quest. I don't remember exactly when she talks about little Reza. I know it's in the first 3 episodes. I've thought about it, I just don't know really anything about Persona or where to even really start with those games. Was it this quest? No. There it is. I found it.
Oh, hello! You're looking good. That's wonderful. ARCS is being restructured, and it's going to get so much busier. Be sure to take care of yourself, okay? Info about the past, secrets, a lot. Tons of different stuff is going to be uncovered. For example, I have a story for you.
Reza has a story.
Once upon a time, there was a baby who was very, very weak at birth. Oh yeah, we'll just call her Risa, okay? Risa was handling photons, but her body couldn't keep up with her. For Args, that was a huge waste. To not use such talent was completely unacceptable. So the next day, Risa was made into a cast. In one day, she underwent a complete metamorphosis. Having attained a powerful body, she was able to fully demonstrate her innate abilities. I don't know whether that Risa had the volition to do that herself. Nobody who becomes a cast remembers what they were like before the change. But, even so, the current generation exists precisely because everyone pulled their strength and put in the effort. In the end, I guess it's up to each individual to decide whether their circumstances were fortunate or not. That's why Risa always says, it's your loss if you don't enjoy yourself! Well then, so then, bye!
And that's basically Reisa's history. The fact she does actually remember before she became Reisa is why she said, let's call that Reisa. It's because that wasn't her before. And she knows that she didn't want to be a cast. Poor Reisa. I should actually do a few of these because... right, do need to back out of this. Once you meet Alma, Alma starts looking through the records and basically wants to see bits of your history, which is why some of these are counted as incomplete. Is because, well, Alma wants to see them, so you get to watch them again, but with Alma watching.
I have been expecting you.
Hey, oh, mommy. How it
There is
goes?
a discrepancy in the perception
So this
of
technically,
things.
this isn't Mother.
Perhaps
So technically
I am the one
is.
who has kept you waiting. My name is Shion. I am a being who is capable only of observation. I will not interfere with you, nor can I. However, the path you must take, the path you have yet to tread, is
That's
more.
fair. I'll give Persona 5 a poke at some point.
Therefore, I can merely set you upon it. I have calculated and predicted every potentiality, and will exhibit them here. Gather divergences and bring forth the inevitable. The divergence matrix will aid you in this task.
Gion
I am a being who
is convinced you can't change anything.
My role is not to guide you. Thus will the divergence matrix show you the way. I pray that the path born of my regret will serve as a beacon to guide you when a compass cannot. Forgive me. I droned on without comprehending how difficult it must be to grasp such vague sentiment.
I've never actually played it. Like I said, I'll poke at it at some point to see if it's something I'll be interested in streaming.
State them again. Now, hear my request. I bid you go to Navarius. I will not say the reason. I cannot. The answer exists only in your future. I am solely an observer. I can do nothing but observe.
Persona's made by Atlas, right? Or is that... am I thinking of something else?
I see. So this is when you and Shion met. As usual, I couldn't understand a word she said, but I guess she's making more sense now than back when I was alive.
I've seen a few Atlas games, but I've never really played any of them.
I used to chat with her a lot through my cosmogenic arm. She always seemed so mournful, so full of regret. Thinking back on it now, maybe she was trying to apologize to me. Since she could see the future and knew what would happen to me. I think she was able to see your future too, back when she talked to you.
And yes, Alma, she could see my future. And then I went, screw your future, I'm doing my own thing. Cracked open a beer and just frickin' managed to literally do everything Xion didn't believe was possible.
That's why she gave you the divergence matrix to guide you. And that's also why she sent you to Nefarious. She was trying to accomplish something.
Kinda, yeah. Alma's hair does have a galaxy in it.
I'm sure that something has to do with the regret I sensed. But right now, who can say?
Oh, Xion.
First, I must express my gratitude to you. You identified the best divergence of potentiality and forged a path to novel circumstances. At present, I have not yet fully studied the words required to gain your consent. Therefore, I must apologize that I continue to fall short of earning your trust.
Don't worry, Xion. You've had my trust the whole time.
Despite this, a new divergence matrix has been born. This signifies that it is possible to intervene in new potentialities. My regret endures. I pray that you will be the one to absolve me of it.
I see. So Shion's goal was for you to rescue the second, who'd collapsed on Nefarious. That's why she turned back time to your certification mission. Good job finding her on your first try.
Thank you, Alma.
The divergence matrix displays possible divergences. It's about as outrageous as my power to stop time.
Yeah, this game's story is
Phantasy
freaking
would probably
amazing.
call it magic. Well, maybe it's not quite on that level. Even if you can go to the past, changing history isn't easy. Time automatically corrects itself. For example, even if you changed history to stop Luther from killing me, I'd probably still die somewhere. That's how it usually works. But Shion can see the results of your revisions too, so she knows exactly what to change. Then she tells you, and you change it. That's what the divergence matrix is for. It's like a guidepost to creating a new future.
One that Xion didn't actually believe we could
You're
do.
going to change events to help her reach the future she's calculated. Shion wouldn't be able to do it alone, and neither would you. It's something you can only do together. Of course, there's no guarantee that you'd succeed in diverging history, even if you followed Shion's guidance. I wonder if she was secretly turning back time and repeating your adventures until you managed to create a divergence.
She might have been. This is Xion.
In all things, infinite choice is but an illusion. It is necessary to ascertain and accept what follows your actions. A new divergence matrix has been born.
A new one.
Events are awakening to new potentialities, and your path, though long, is solidifying. Your actions will determine the future. That is all I am capable of expressing. I apologize for my circuitous phrasing.
Falspawn really are terrible. Even if you destroy their bodies, the remaining F factor corrupts living beings and machines. Honestly,
And it
how
does.
can anyone create such monstrosities?
Because Photoners were arrogant. That's how.
If the photons inside us didn't neutralize the F factor, we'd be corrupted in the blink of an eye too. That's why non-arcs can't fight them. You can't fight Ballspawn without the ability to
yawning.
control photons. Reggie, Mary, and I are particularly good at it, but you're on a whole other level. Absorbing and purifying the F
Yeah, we kinda are.
inside the frenzied Draconians. That's beyond me. Honestly, it's a terrifying ability. But that's probably one of the reasons why Shion chose you. Thanks to you, the frenzied Draconians returned to normal, and a link was formed between Arcs and the Draconians, creating a new future. I'm not sure yet how this will alter the course of history, but I am sure this was necessary to achieve Shion's goal.
You know, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how that changes things. I suppose one of the pieces of Clarissa was on that planet, but we could have got that without the Draconians' help. So I'm trying to really think what the point of that was.
Has been born. This positive turn of events exhibits the significance of your actions. I and we profess 1,000 gratitudes. We comprehend that this is no straightforward path, and yet I relied on you nonetheless. The one who repaid that trust is you. Your will answered. That is why I am grateful. And I hope you will pardon me for needing to depend on you time and time again.
It's always fine, Shion. I am always happy to help.
Lilypaw and the Lilypans, hmm? I don't think that planet has been discovered yet during my time. It seems the civilization that was originally on Lilypaw was destroyed, and the Lilypans are the survivors.
But they are.
No, but I so desperately want to pet one. It's too bad that I don't have a body. All joking aside, now you've formed relationships with not only the Draconians, but with the Lilypans as well.
Well, that was Fiore's work, not mine. Fiore put in all the effort to befriend the Lillipans, and it's freaking adorable.
Verbally, I'm sure that Fourier girl will figure something out. Now then, next up is another recording from Nefarious, it would seem.
Next up is this, the path we trod.
A new divergence matrix has been born. A reality that was possible precisely because you arrived at the path you were supposed to. You will bear witness to many things both hereafter and henceforth. Previously as well.
Well, yes, Shion, that is how life works.
However, you must not avert your eyes. You must learn the truth and arrive at a solution. That is something only you are allowed to do. At this time, I can say nothing, because there is no meaning.
Yeah,
in saying
same.
anything
More
more.
so for Mother, because
Only
Mother really didn't deserve what happened to her at all. But Mother is technically Shion, so...
Things are really starting to heat up, eh? And what's most puzzling is that broken weapon. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but why is it broken?
Yeah, Oma, you know what that weapon is.
I digress. It seems like Shion's goal is to collect the fragments of that weapon. And that masked person is looking for the very same fragments. But thanks to Shion's guidance, you stopped them. Originally, it was fated to be collected by that masked person from where it slept in the tundra. But you got it instead, changing the future. What meaning does that hold? At this point, I'm sure only Shion knows.
I mean, for saving Xion, you really need to beat the crap out of Dark Falls loser. I mean, Luther.
Guess she couldn't. She knew if she told you, you'd fail, and so she couldn't say anything. It was probably something like that.
Need to crush Captain Obsessive to save, Xion. Find. We must seek.
A new divergence matrix has sprung forth. The balance tips. The path is laid bare. I and we...
Hello, Dash the Hedgehog.
...seek and obtain.
I'm not doing anything major story, I'm just going through Alma's stuff, so you don't need to worry.
I and we trust that you will...
My sleep schedule is completely fumped, so...
I see. Before, it didn't seem like anything was connected, but Xion's instructions are starting to come together now. She was guiding you to collect the fragments of that broken weapon, She made Fourier into a mediator for the Lily Pan so that you could get this fragment. Which means the link forged with the Draconians must have been for a similar purpose. And next up is... See? It's Amduskia!
I mean, I still feel we could have gotten the Draconian bit without this, but, you know. It's the one part I, you know...
Has been born. Redress the balance and uncover an answer. No matter what trials await you, your discoveries will eventually bear fruit. You will take the fruit it is meant to take. Therefore, I urge you to press forward single-mindedly without hesitation.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
I trust that this will be the path that leads you to the answer at the root of all things.
Now you've recovered the fragment on Amduskia too. Finally, you have them all. Even if you had guidance, walking around 3 planets must have been exhausting. But there was plenty good reason to do it.
That there was.
All that's left is to fix the weapon, and then everything will come together. I guess. I'm concerned about the second too. She has amnesia, and yet she's clearly reacting to the fragments of the weapon.
As she is.
Guidance led you to both save the second and recover the weapon fragments. Considering the way the second has been acting, I think I know what's going to happen. If those weapon fragments are what I think they are, then you're in for quite a show.
Yeah, they're almost certainly what you think they are. So those weapon fragments are Clarissa.
A divergence matrix has been born. It straddles the precipice of reality and truth. I and we trust in your fulfillment. In the conclusion you will reach, believe in yourself. Believe in what you have accomplished and what you should achieve.
Believe.
Huh? Talk about a plot twist! The fixed weapon was stolen! That's strange. I thought the fixed weapon would be returned to the second, and she'd get her memories back, solving everything. And it would seem that old girl got caught up in the false spawn assault and died too. Was that all part of Xion's plan? Maybe there's some reason why that had to happen. Still, prospects are grim. I can't see a happy ending coming from this. Mark my words, someone's going to get hurt.
Oh yeah, someone gets hurt. That's for sure. Someone gets hurt.
Events have changed.
Very hurt.
This is one realization of what you have accomplished, even if it takes on an undesired form. The universe will come to fruition through your experiences. This is not revision, But based on that accumulation, it will bear many friends and enemies.
And maybe even some frenemies.
Even so, you must press forward, following your own will down a path that no one else could track.
And we need to be walking a path
More
that
than
no one
40
can
years
track.
ago now, Reggie, Mary, and I fought Darkfall's Elder. Considering the outcome, you could say that Arcs won. We got pretty beat up, but Arcs won.
Yeah.
Elder's power was outrageous. After all, he was strong enough to change Navarius's geography and create a tundra. It was impossible to destroy him, so we sealed him away instead. We bound him to the land of Navarius.
Yep.
I used my cosmogenic arm, Clarissa the White, to do it. That same weapon that you repaired. We sealed Elder away, using Clarissa as a key. But we told everyone that we defeated him.
Yep.
We had
A
a
happy
lot of
little
reasons
lie.
for what we did, and were hailed as the trio of heroes, and we thought it fine to accept the honorific. We thought that if a bluff could lend some hope to the ongoing fight against the Falspawn, then it was a useful white lie. We believed that someday in the future we would forge. Someone would find a way to
Yawning.
completely defeat a Dark Falls. But we never thought that the seal would be released just a few decades later. And it
Yeah.
wouldn't be exaggerating to say that it was Shion's guidance that caused the seal to be undone. Whatever Shion wanted to accomplish must have been important enough to risk reviving Elder. What was she trying to do?
Draw out
Just have
Luther.
to watch the next recording.
Tragedy or liberation? I need...
The new flow has become a diverging stream.
There we go.
However, it is a model that will affect even the main river. It is up to you to decide whether to call what lies there a tragedy or a release. No matter what form the ending takes.
I have like a little posture pillow. I just realized I haven't been using.
I am unconcerned.
That place where you and Sina were forced to go. That was an Ark ship. It was destroyed and corrupted by Falspawn. And then it became a Falspawn nest.
Yep.
And what's more, it also seems to have been used as a test site to create replicas of Ark's operatives who had been kidnapped.
Yep.
Gemini has the power to create copies. But Gemini wouldn't require a massive facility like that.
No, it wouldn't.
Elder was there. So were they his puppets? No. Based on what he said, some other Dark Falls was responsible.
Yep.
Speaking of other Dark Falls, Apprentice is of some concern. Is she really the sister Offen has been searching for all this time?
Yeah.
The Dark
Yeah,
Falls,
she is.
they gain extraordinary power while also being influenced by the person serving as the vessel. And there aren't any records of a vessel being returned to normal after becoming a Dark Falls. It's never happened. Not once.
Oh, come on, Alma. You've literally seen her.
It's unfortunate. But I don't really foresee any positive outcome for Sina or Offen.
She's literally standing on the upper deck of the main ship.
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you about the various events that seem to be occurring around a focal point.
Oh, hey. Hey, Luther.
According to my analysis, she should be around here.
Well, hey, loser. I call him loser because that is the name he chose for
You hear me,
himself.
Shion? At last, my knowledge has brought me this far. I suppose it's too early for me to see you yet. I want to understand you, but it seems I'm not capable of that yet. I don't wish to put you in a foul mood, so I'll take my leave now. What do you think? Did she hear me? I must express my gratitude to you as well. It's thanks to you that I've been better able to understand her. I still don't know why she's doing what she's doing, but I look forward to the day when everything becomes clear. My name is Luther. I'm the director of the Void Apparatus, which you all call the laboratory. May we meet again.
Yeah. Take your leave, loser.
He cannot see me. Even my voice cannot reach him. However, he is aware of me.
Yep.
It is because of him that I have entrusted everything to you. I must sever all ties with him. However, it is also my existence that twisted him to begin with. I regret the
Yep.
inquisitiveness that caused all this, and that I must burden you.
That's fine, Xion. I get it.
So that's Luther, the leader of the Photoners.
Strictly speaking, he's the only person now who can truly be called a photoner. But yes, you are correct. The other
I don't like
researchers simply
Khosrow.
call themselves that because they wish to be photoners. First, Elder is released, and now the artificial Draconian is gone. That put enough of a wrench in his plans to make him appear. Though to think the first person he'd interact with would be that person, it cannot just be coincidence.
I don't care about that. I just want revenge on the person who screwed with Hadrids in my lives.
Kuna, our friend here is the key. You understand that, don't you?
I'm gonna do this my way. I have no intention of making friendly with you, Khosrow of the Council of Six. Or should I say, of the trio of heroes. Anyway, I assume you understand.
Yes, I do, Kuna. Once this is all over, you may do with me as you wish. That was our agreement.
Boy, do I wish
And
that she would
considering
kill
the
him at
risks
the end
you're
of this.
taking, I mean to keep that promise.
I hate that I accept everything, face of yours. What are you even after?
As of this moment, the same thing you are after.
Well,
I'll follow you no longer. Luther, you're the one person I...
That was Luther? No way! He looks more evil now. But that was Cassie, the first Khosra. Oh no, I understand now. He took over Cassie's body. That's just what I would expect of Luther. As much as I hate it, I know Luther well. After all, he's the reason I'm like this. Arx was really falling to pieces after the fight with Elder 40 years ago. So
Arx is
many
always
times.
falling to pieces.
Enough that we couldn't maintain our organization. We needed Luther's technology to rebuild Arx. Regardless of how inhumane that was. But having Luther manipulate Arx as he wished was more terrifying than seeing it destroyed. So I bargained with him. In exchange for offering myself up as a test subject, he'd use his research results to rebuild Arx. My original body was very weak. I knew I probably wouldn't have lived much longer anyway. I thought I'd offer myself for everyone's sake, and Luther accepted. As a result, the second generation of Arx was born with the ability to manipulate photons, and Arx regained its power and standing. But I see. So Xion's goal involves Luther.
Yeah, it kind of does.
I guess that makes a lot of sense.
Involves the removal of
I
Luther.
kept a close eye on him while I was alive, but I couldn't do that after dying. Seems I put everyone in a tough position. I suppose this isn't the time to be getting depressed. What happens next is most crucial. I have to watch and accept what comes.
Poor Alma, though. I forget if she has anything to do with any of the side stuff, but... I may as well just stay on these, because these are the only ones that are really important. These are the Alma bit.
You're finally here.
Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to alarm you.
Hey, Matoy.
I've just had a real serious look on your face lately, and it was worrying me. Wait, who's that?
That's Shion.
Yeah, should I not be able to see them?
I don't mind that she can see me. She's nothing like Luther. She has a connection to me, like you. So of course she can see me. It's only natural.
Yep, yes she does.
It's hard to put into words, but even though I've never met you before, there's something very familiar about you.
I would sure
Let's
hope.
not to dwell on it for now. When the time comes, you'll come to understand everything.
Oh? I guess if you say so, it must be so. Okay.
Matoy is very friendly. She believes everybody.
Or rather, did you never stop in the first place?
Sure, I believe in you. After all, it's someone you believe in.
I appreciated everything you did back then. Saving her. The only reason we're alive now is because of what you did. Your deeds gave us a future. All that's left is the cosmogenic arms. But more important than that, I must express my thanks to you for saving her.
It's odd. It feels like she's there, but feels like she's not. But she has a warm feeling about her, like when I first met you. I'm sure things have been hard on you so far, and you've even harder things to face ahead. But no matter what happens, always know that I believe in you, and that I'll always be with you.
That you will, Matoy. That you will.
The new planet we discovered, Wopal, seems to have a great deal of water. That's pretty and all, but something seems unusual about it. The enemies and natives of the planet are all pretty weird. The weather, everything about the planet seems almost artificial. The natives of the planet can even speak to us without translation. There's gotta be a reason for all of it. It feels so suspect. And speaking of suspect, there's Luther. Tricking people and using them in his schemes as one would expect.
Yeah, that is what Loser does.
This is just a playback of records. I wish I could go pound on him myself. It almost feels like all this stuff with Theodore is happening to me. I wonder how it will all turn out. Shion could butt in, but she just made contact with the second. Anyway, how could the second recognize Shion at that time? Do you think they'd already made a connection?
That they have.
That's one more strange thing going on. I guess that makes these worth watching. Let's check the next record.
I do love this, that it is basically Alma getting to watch what you've experienced. And it also kind of works as like,
Enough of this
here's
charade
what's
now,
going
Shion.
on, kind of thing.
Such futile endeavors are beneath you. Oracle and Arcs are all in the palm of my hand, and soon, you shall join them.
Nothing in this universe is futile. These people convinced me of that. And it is from there we began.
Very well. Struggle all you like. A few twists and turns in our story will make things all the more interesting. I will enjoy watching it all play out. Such is the pleasure and privilege of those unburdened by fleeting mortality. Such is our right.
Is it though, loser?
And you. I've heard so much about all of the things you've gotten up to. Do as you like. I won't impede you. Make things interesting for me. When you live forever, you need a little bit of stimulation. Wouldn't you all agree?
Luther may have cast aside his humanity, but he has not forgotten what it is to be mortal.
No, he has not.
He
Sparkles.
is enjoying this entirely too much. Because he was once mortal, he fears boredom above all else.
Makes sense,
That is
really.
his strength, but also his weakness. Something to take advantage of.
Ooh,
Were it up to me,
advantage.
that is what I would do. We also think the same way. Therefore, we are not mistaken. You must keep the faith and move forward.
I mean, we could both
The
be wrong,
path is-
Xian.
will come. A new path, desired by all.
And if you're wondering why we
Shao
don't
has
just,
finally
you
bust
know,
onto the scene. Huh. I see. So that was how you met.
if you're wondering why, like, you don't just kill Luther right there, there's a dampening field on the Ark ships that makes it so you literally cannot use your weapons while on the ships unless they remove the dampening field, and Luther is in control of said dampening field. Now, you can technically still use your weapon because you're powerful enough to do it, but not at an efficient level to actually fight Luther.
In that case, then that'll probably end up that way. And, maybe that's what will happen. Oh, sorry. When I was young and sickly, I used to stay in bed and read a lot of books. I always really enjoyed imagining what was going to happen. That's why I'm so curious about why Xion created Shao and had you two meet when you did. From here on out, you'll be borrowing Shao's power to put an end to Luther's plot. I wonder if everything leading to this was inevitable. Elder managed
Nah.
to revive. Theodore is still being used, and Luther keeps closing in on Xion. Maybe Luther would have suspected something if any one of those conditions weren't met. It was probably a future Xion only arrived at after seeing failure after failure. Any shortcuts and it all would have fallen apart. Elder was allowed to revive, and Zeno was rescued. That's one thing Luther doesn't know. Add it all up, and it connects to Xion's plan for the distant future. They're lining up all the pieces for that purpose. This must be how it starts. In fact, I think everything you've done has moved things forward.
Oh, yawning.
Sarah trusts you now after all you've done, and you've even got Mary helping you out. How is it all gonna come together? Let's watch the next recording.
Indeed. How is it going to turn out? I actually don't remember. I kind of want to see everything so I can kind of remember what's going to happen. Right. We need to revive someone else first.
Let me tell you a tale of a time long past. A tale of a foolish entity. And of a foolish person.
We're a lonely
It all
entity,
began
but
when the entity, a being possessed of boundless knowledge, met the person, a being possessed of boundless fascination. The entity gave the person knowledge and wisdom as the person desired. This was trivial information to the entity, but to the person, it became the foundation of their very evolution.
oh,
The person ignited the entity's curiosity. Though the entity was all-knowing, it could not understand the person's heart, and so it was captivated.
yeah,
Thus did
understandable.
The entity and the person come to live side by side. They each gave what the other desired, and lived in prosperity for ages upon ages. The person was avaricious, yet indolent. They put forth every effort for the sake of comfort and ease. They used every ounce of knowledge. The entity was entertained by this unique course of action, but in its amusement, it made a grave error.
And it did.
Though the entity knew that the fruits of such indolence would bring forth destruction, it did not tell the person.
Ah, I wish I could stop yawning.
Because it desired to see how the person would be changed by what sprang forth. The foolish one was not the person. It was the one who knew the risks, yet did not convey them. The foolish one was I. Do not fret for me. I am glad that we met. It is an event that is irreplaceable to me. If it had not happened, I could not talk to you as I am now. This
That is fair.
place would not even exist. People have told me that not knowing the future is what makes it exciting. As I am now, I agree.
Because as of this moment, Xion doesn't know the future anymore.
Yes, I was totally right. I thought someone was meddling on Wopal, and of course it was Luther.
Yeah.
He acts like he owns the whole universe, messing around with whatever he wants. My prediction was right on the money, as infuriating as it is. Theodore
Yeah.
was one of his victims too. To change your entire race after the fact, it's such an insane change to make.
Yeah.
When it seemed Luther was going to have his way, you worked hard and managed to get the key to saving Theodore. If
Yep.
everything up until now has come from Xion's guidance, then you know what's up next. No matter how prepared you are, none of that is going to be easy. I'm sure that some of it will even be painful. Oh, but now that I've come this far, I just have to watch the rest. Okay, next up's the history created by Xion's final divergence matrix.
And that it is. This whole bit of the plot was...
I have
Yeah.
long awaited your arrival.
The entirety of Arcs gets turned against us. Save a couple people.
What do you think of my Xion impression? Totally captured the vibe, right? I mean, I'm technically a copy of her, so it wouldn't be that weird if I had ended up exactly like her. But I think Xion did enough of the whole mysterious and dignified act for the both of us. I'd rather talk like, you know, a real person.
You talk like a
Anywho,
brat, Zhao.
Let's get right to why I called you here. There's something I wanted to tell you directly. It's about... well, it's about Matoi. If I'm being quite honest with you, I'm not sure who or what she really is. We have no data on her. Surely you know as well as I do that someone with her insanely high level of skill sticks out like a sore thumb, right? And I don't just mean in the ARCS database.
Yeah, Matoi is a special kind of strong.
It's like someone deliberately edited her out. Now, if it had been Luther, that much I could understand. But even he didn't seem to know about her. And if it wasn't him, I can think of only one other possible suspect.
Was Xion?
It had to have been Xion. They must have erased all record of Matoi. And it's not just Matoi that got wiped. Xion seems to have deleted all records beyond about, 10 or so years ago. Not just physical records either. Nobody in ARC seems to have any clear memories from then anymore either.
Yup.
This isn't the sort of data we can just salvage or trace back either. It's vanished straight out of existence. Bloop, gone. Something important had to have happened then 10 years ago. But we can't revisit memories that no longer exist. What we need to do is go back directly and see it all for ourselves.
And that's what we end up doing.
And this isn't just to sate my own curiosity either. Xion is no longer with us. and Luther has fallen. Arx is taking its first steps forward into a brand new era. What that means is that I now need to maintain both the control Luther held and the calculations that Xion ran all by myself.
Yep.
That's why, if I want to ensure the safety and stability of this newborn Arx, I need to know as much as possible about what happened. That includes even things I might not want to know the truth about. That said, I won't pretend I'm not curious about it all. I'd quite like to see what happened before I ever even existed.
That is fair.
Right then.
I mean, who doesn't want to
I've
know
never
that stuff?
accomplished anything, so let's get to work. If we just head back to the time that has been wiped clean from history itself, we should learn a thing or two. This will be a lot like the sort of time travel you've done already. You've been through so much already that I'm sure this trip will be just another drop in the bucket of your wildlife experiences.
And we've already done it. Because
Xion
that's
might
how
have
time
known
travel
I'd try to do
works.
this. Maybe that's why they chose you in the first place, you know? I'll be on backup duty. You just head to the target location. Let's find out what truly happened.
I think what Xion really wanted was to free Arx from Luther's clutches and give them a future.
Yep.
Xion must have tried and failed countless times, always reanalyzing and recalculating, until we finally arrived where we are today.
Yep.
I'm sad that we had to lose Xion, but assuming that all of this was accounted for, then I suppose it's something we just have to accept. Thanks to them, Arx finally broke away from Luther. But this still leaves plenty of questions unanswered. Xion lost all record of Oracle itself to hide our little predecessor from Luther. That was 10... No, I suppose it would have been 13 years ago now. Only Xion, someone with direct access to the Akashic records themselves, could have pulled something like that off. But that might be where they went too far. Xion was an observer, not one who should directly meddle with the universe's affairs. Why did Xion go against the very purpose of their own existence just for our little friend there? What was going through Xion's mind? If we want
Many
answers,
things.
we're just gonna have to look to the past to find out.
Xion's apology and regret. Basically, Xion created Matoi to destroy
Listen,
Dark
I know what
Falls.
you must be thinking. You
Xion's
wanna go back to
effectively
10 years
Matoi's
ago and
mother.
See what happened, right? I had the same idea, but it looks like that might be out of the question. We're being completely blocked from intervening in the time frame after the second disappeared. Xion's doing, I'm sure. Xion made us forget, but won't let us go back and change anything. Pretty unreasonable, but she did always tend towards the extreme. That being said, it seems there are those who retain some of their memories. We should talk to them to try and figure things out.
And that's what you end up doing.
So that's why Xion was trying to hide the second. If you created a being that almost turned into the new profound darkness, you'd want to keep that under wraps too. With the knowledge Xion granted them, the Photoners went on to fiddle with life itself, the legacy of which was the profound darkness.
Yep.
To negate this future, Xion created the second Claris craze. But that creation too almost succumbed to the profound darkness. You'd think Xion would go back before the second was made, fix everything up, and move on, but they couldn't. Because that would mean toying with the second's very existence, with life itself. I always figured Xion's guilt and regret came from granting the Photoners knowledge in the first place.
Probably did.
It was all about the second. Everything Xion did was to try and make it up to her.
And yeah.
She was like a daughter to Xion. It must have been tough. But that's why Xion wanted to save her so desperately. And why they asked you for help.
Yep.
All this time travel has really taught me a lot. There's still plenty I don't get yet, of course. But we can't just travel back in time anymore. Now we need to gather what fragmented memories we can and piece together the truth ourselves.
Yep. That is... That's where we're at.
I haven't seen you in so long. I was running all over the place working on acquiring special arcs authorizations, and you seem plenty busy yourself. You can probably tell as much already, but I'm pretty happy to see you again.
Yeah, my toy! In a new outfit.
You do remember me, right? Please don't tell me you forgot. It's me, Matoi, the one and only. Remember?
Of course I remember.
It's been a long time since I've heard you say my name. I'm going to be a real deal arts operative. After begging and pleading, Xiao is finally giving me authorization. Now I'll finally be able to fight alongside you. Yep, it's time to earn my keep too. And that's why you called me out here today, isn't it, Xiao?
Yeah, Matoi
As
is...
Overseer, you're going to grant me authorization, aren't you?
Matoi is a special kind of scary powerful. She literally needs to use Clarissa, a cosmogenic arm, basically a super weapon of weapons, to not immediately break her weapon upon using a tech.
Before I give you special permission, there's still one more lesson I need you to learn, Matoi.
What kind of lesson? No classrooms involved, I hope.
Don't get all pouty just yet. Our friend here will hear you out.
Okay then, I'm listening.
You really are an easy read. Now then, this lesson isn't any sort of formal lecture.
So he's gonna formally give you a formal lecture.
I just want to get you both up to date on the current state of arcs. I'll be skipping over a lot of the history and finer details, but you can always ask me later about anything you want to know.
Uh-huh.
That's not the most reassuring of responses, but alright. Let's talk about arcs as a whole. Arcs had finally overthrown the puppet leadership Luther had in place. We lost Xion in the process, but there's no point on dwelling on that.
Yeah.
It has taken us roughly half a year to get Arcs up and running again, to put it back on its proper trajectory. Back then, 6 months ago, there certainly was a real uproar when I said I would oversee the management of Arcs. But now everyone treats it like it's completely natural. Time really does normalize all.
Your old Patty and Tia back there.
Next, let's talk about enemies. The Fallspawn. To be quite honest, the situation isn't great.
Nah, it isn't great, is it?
Well, just take a look at this footage.
Take a look at this trailer! I kind of love how they did this. Of incorporating some of the trailer footage into the game itself. But yeah, this is Gemini at work. That's Gemini playing with a toy. Anyone who thinks Gemini couldn't break them.
Planets were just wiped out. Like it was nothing.
It copied a planet it consumed simply to smash it into another, playing with celestial bodies as if they were mere toys. Instead, it appears this horrible new Dark False, known as Gemini the Duplicate, destroys for the sheer thrill of it.
Gemini.
Gemini is already headed for its next target. The planet Harukatan, recently discovered and home to an alien civilization. That's Gemini's next stop.
We need to get over there then.
Right.
That we do.
Which brings me to my last topic. ARC's mission. Our mission now
Is to wipe out the false spawn and every dark falls out of existence and protect the lives of the universe's myriad inhabitants, right?
looks like you at least remember that much.
Yep. That is the mission of ARCs. And what Matoi was created to do.
Hey, got a moment? Can you keep an eye on Matoi and stick with her as often as you can? There's no telling when Persona the Masked might strike again like they did 10 years ago. Plus... Right. Should push come to shove, I need you to be there to handle it. Your knowledge of the truth demands it. 10 years ago, she nearly became the profound darkness.
Yep.
This is an unavoidable truth. And while she seems fine now, there's no telling what might happen. No one knows. Not me, not you, not even her.
I mean, of course Matoi wouldn't.
Let's get going.
She's in your hands now.
I am the guardian of the beans, so it does work.
You know what you have to do, right, Sarah? If anything should happen with those two, let me know immediately.
What sort of plan are you cooking up this time?
I'm actually hoping that nothing happens whatsoever.
And yet things will happen, because it's just how
Arx has
things work.
secured its future, but without Shion's guidance. Any alterations to the past might overwrite the future that Shion worked so hard for. No more big changes, that's for darn sure. The time has finally come to accept the bitter truths of the past. I mean, this is probably how the world's supposed to be, right? I'm curious about what motivates Dark Falls. The enemy Arcs must fight for the sake of the future, especially this Gemini.
I know what motivates
I
them.
hope the second's okay. Seems like she's pushing herself awfully hard. I'm one to talk. As for Persona, I've got my suspicions, but I think we need to look a little further ahead first. Our next story brings us to Harukotan, home to the tribes of day and night. I wonder what awaits us here.
A lot of stuff. That's what. Yeah, does she have anything to do with episode 4? No, she doesn't watch episode 4. So she doesn't join Sierra in spying. Sierra ends up spying on people. But I kind of feel like doing some actual questing again. Especially because just sitting watching story, my brain is deciding to shut down a bit. So back to actually fighting things.
I wish you the best of luck.
I don't have a more efficient way of leveling right now than just repeating this quest, so... see if I can get experience up. I also wonder if I can equip my orb yet. There we go. Let's see. So I do have the orb rod, or wand. I can. Ooh. That's probably worth it. Because this is really nice. That basically means that I can do this near infinitely. Which isn't anywhere near as important for the Techer, but for the Force, that's pretty important. Force has its own orb, but... Actually, before I do that... Isn't there... No, there isn't one for the rod, is there? No. Okay. Because the Techer gets access to the advanced combined text. That's why. Do this. Dealing so much more damage. Having every class except Techer finished and like proper end-game gear already, this is utter cakewalk. I haven't even done Shift to D-Band yet. I'm really good at remembering those, as you can tell. Back here, big guy. I need to punch your weak spot, like it or not. I will say, for people who are completely unfamiliar with PSO2 watching this, if you know D&D, you basically already know a Techer. It's basically a D&D cleric. Techer is the support job. But it's the support job with high defense and buffing capabilities. As well as whacks things in the face with a mace. Yeah. Mixed with a Twirl, you gain an absurd amount of extra defense. Like, just an utterly absurd amount. Because a Twirl is basically the tankiest of the tank. At the cost of no longer being able to be healed by magic. Slash techs. But items still work. Get over here, Matoy. Okay, it's only resisting light at the moment, so that's fine. Still gonna swap to the Talus. Charge this up. Zippy zap. Okay, it started resisting the wand. So it's a good thing I did that. I do find it funny how I kind of just got off topic of ranting about Final Fantasy XIV. I kind of want to go back to doing that. Because I have so many more complaints. And every class effectively being every other class is one of the biggest complaints. Because, like, you know, just using PSO2 here as an example point. You've got all these different classes. Can freely swap between them. This is a good number of classes. No two of these classes plays the same. Even if they look like they probably would. Like, Hunter. High HP and defense. They're pretty good frontline tanks. Basically, and they have 3 different main weapon types, that being the sword, the knuckles, and the partisan slash spear. Gunblade is something everybody can use. They are basically blocking based tanks. Fighter is your kind of semi-typical melee DPS. Not much in the way of defense, but can put out a lot of damage. They have dual knives, double saber, and knuckles. Ranger is your ranged support. They have a lot of various debuffing and buffing moves, generally on the debuffing side though. You want to keep them at range, and even though they can use rifle and launcher, you're generally probably going to be using rifle if you're playing them effectively. Gunner. DPS. DPS out the ass. Combo attacks. Chaining everything. You're doing this to do that, to do that, to do this, to do that, to do... If you like Yu-Gi-Oh! Gunner is for you because you combo for days. You just keep comboing. No one can stop you. There's no Ash Blossoms here. You can just go if you learn how to do it. Force. This is your prototypical mage. You're standing in the back with a staff in your hand, casting spells. That's the Force. Tekker is also magical. But as you've been seeing, stands in the front and bashes things with a stick. Like, Tekker is basically a frontline fighter with a good bit of defense built in that basically tanks damage with its face. It doesn't block it, it just takes it. Braver is a hybrid class between ranged and melee. To use most effectively, you're swapping between the katana and the bow constantly. The katana is heavily counter-focused. The bow is your ranged damage to basically keep up your damage after, when you can't be using the katana. Bouncer is a mix between melee and magic. To use it most effectively, you're swapping between your soaring blades and your jet boots. The jet boots, you're a lot more magic focused with a decent hit toward, decent push towards buffing with not a major focus on it. And with the melee, you're basically always on the move. You are soaring around with your soaring blades. Summoner is completely its own thing with its own mechanics. It's a pet class. It just dominates. It's always been broken from the moment they added it. Hero is kind of a mix of Hunter, Gunner, and Force. It's kind of awkward, but to use it most effectively, you are swapping between Sword, Twin Machine Guns, and Talus. And you're basically comboing between the three. You're using attacks with your sword to transition into the twin machine guns, to transition into the talus, to transition into the sword, to transition into the talus, to transition into the twin machine guns, to, you know, you're constantly moving, swapping, changing. Phantom is kind of a mix between Ranger, Force, and Braver. And kind of like is more you change to the situation. Each of the weapons is best suited for different situations. You swap to the one that fits the situation you're in the best. A Twol is the best defense tank in the game, at the cost of not being able to heal with magic. It being pretty heavily focused melee fighting, though it's also always on the move. You are never stationary as an Atwal. You're always moving, always doing something. Luster, finally the Gunblade class. This is 3 flavors of different things that you can do. All of these classes are different. I know I'm not explaining them majorly well. That's because there's no like standout skills to explain, because it really depends on what weapon you choose as to what skills you have available to you. But meanwhile, like 14, all the tanks are the same. They're just the same. They're the same class. It's the illusion of choice. You don't actually have a choice. Unlike here, where you have blocking tank, support tank, raw defense tank. In 14, you have all of them are the same tank. They're all mitigation tanks. Because why would they not be? Your healers, they're all the same. They all basically have the exact same healing spells at the exact same point, because clearly they didn't want to try developing a more complex game. You know, one that you might have a weaker healer at healing that deals more damage, and one that's immensely better at healing but deals no damage whatsoever. Or, you know, has some variance, because that might make a meta healer, and then everyone would be playing that one healer. And that's a point where you adjust that one healer, not all of them, to make them all the same, but Square didn't think of that, I guess. Melee DPSs, same deal. They're all virtually the same class. Same goes for range DPS, magic DPS. They're all fundamentally the same class. They all have basically the same length of combo. Like,
feel free to stop by anytime.
It's just annoying and disappointing. Especially seeing what they did to my red mage.
Which quest are you up
Like,
for?
I love red mage. It's my favorite Final Fantasy class, just period. And they murdered the thing. Wait, I have a couple keys. I have a silver and a gold. I should do those.
Good luck.
At least I'm pretty sure silver and gold, yeah. Right. That goes to that one. Today being Tuesday, tomorrow I'll probably be finishing off this character to 75, because that's when the weekly quests will reset. And I'll get a Rappy Fever, a gold key, and as well as my basic silver. And anything else I might get from anything like the recommended quests. Maybe another rainbow key. That'd be pretty cool. I should be able to just hold down this button. Rude. This simple combined is just... It's lazy, but it works. Especially while holding an orb. Tokyo Gold. There we go. Go. I wonder if this will last for the entire duration of this. But maybe not if I get interrupted like that, but it looks like it's going to. 69! Nice! Yep, it lasted just long enough. Pretty nice level. Yeah, I'll definitely get 75 on Tekker tomorrow. That'll be nice. Alright. Might even be able to get to 70 tonight. I'm also thinking I don't know how much longer I'll keep streaming. I am feeling a little sleepy. I mean, it is about 8 in the morning now. Part of me wants to try just staying up all day. Just to see if I can maybe sort my sleep schedule out. But I don't know. I might just give up and just go sleep nights. We'll sleep days again for a while. Here's something I want to do really quick. I'm actually going to transport to the NGS block. Prepare for potential butts in your face. There are a lot of scantily clad outfits. I just want to collect my my free stuff for the day. My daily scratch tickets. I will be playing through NGS on stream as well. Oh, hey, no butts. At least none that I've loaded up. There's one. I mean, there's one. There's a Genji. I do really like the cosplays people do, but just look at how populated this is compared to frickin' the base game. It's a little sad, honestly. But yeah, they got some free scratch tickets going on. Free 10 pulls. It's cosmetics! I can have a rappy tongue. Only I want that. A lot of tattoos. Yeah, this version of the game is quite a bit different from the base. I do want to say, just given the amount of people who play, like, this compared to the base game, that people do seem to like NGS more. Fans of the original don't, but there's a lot of people that like this one. So, like, I don't know, man. I wonder if I can actually transport back to the original block. I will say, the freedom of movement in this version is so much better. No, that just brings me here. I don't remember where the teleporter area is. Wait, no, I think I know. I think I know where I must go. I need this. I am not attuned to this yet. I have not done the tutorial yet. So that won't work. Okay, I gotta go back to ship selection. Oh, I tried to just teleport back. And like, I have played a fair bit of NGS. This smug little crap is the one I've been playing on it. This character got to level 5 by accident. Okay, I think I see a notification. I just check that. No. What to do? I kind of want to do something mindless while I continue to ramble about how much my issues with 14. Of which, like, I do want to say, again, like, I don't hate 14. That's kind of the thing. Like, I've played a good bit of it. Also, apparently, yeah, I'm back in older episode. Hold on. I want to get the ship back to the later episodes. This should set the ship back to episode 5. Or not. I'm gonna do this this one really quick just to make sure I'm back to here, and then I'm just gonna skip. I just want to be back on episode 5. Matoya is a gift for me.
There you are.
Hey, a 50% try boost. I mean, I'm using hundreds, but And she gives us an augmentation success plus 10%. Heck yeah. Risk down plus 2. That's actually kind of helpful. Augment success. Eh. I have not collected Matoy's gifts for a while. She's got a lot for me. Ilmegid?
Come see me again.
Okay, that is everything.
Come see me again.
It's actually gonna head to the casino, because why not? Let's go gambling! There's no losing here, so I can't really do the aw dang it. Well, there is losing, but it's on those machines, and I'm just not gonna play on those ones. I am literally gonna be sitting here playing slots, so... If you don't like slots, just tune away. I'm gonna turn the game down a notch. It doesn't need to be all the way up while in here. Like... A lot of my issues with Final Fantasy XIV are a bunch of tiny things that all kind of just become a problem together. Because, like, the classes all being virtually the same would be fine if, like, there weren't some locked behind later expansions knowing, oh, I'm just gonna have to grind the same class again, basically. And if the story was better, like, I wouldn't mind if the classes were all the same, because then, well, hey, the story's good. But at least from what I've played, it's just not. That's the problem. It's not very good. So that becomes a bigger issue, that all the classes feel the same when 14's story is just kind of bad, because then you're completely stuck, no matter what you do, experiencing a bad story with the same class. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, and even the story, there's moments where it's not bad, but those are surrounded by padding and goofiness, and, you know, it's like they occasionally have moments where they're like, ah, crap, things are actually getting serious. It's a silly moment, padding, slow the player down, distract them, jangle some keys, I don't know. It's like, really, guys? This is what we're doing? This is what you're choosing to do? Instead of just telling a good story? It's gonna be a diving rappy. Or not! I'm impressed. I'm not gonna spend forever on the slot machine. I just wanted something I could do to ramble. Leveling. Leveling takes so freaking long. Like, all of these characters in, you know, to level all these characters to 75, that I've leveled to 75 in PSO2 here. I haven't been spending my whole time leveling them, but it's taken like 100 hours-ish total gameplay. Once I started deciding, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I have put, where is it? Where's the Fs? There it is. I've put 251.8 hours into Final Fantasy XIV. I have one character to level 70. Not through lack of trying to level others. Wait, no, I think I have 2 at 70 now, because my red mage is 70. Leveling takes so freaking long. Like, I just don't get it. I don't know why they felt the need to make levels take that long in 14. Well, I kind of get it, but kind of don't. Because they were like, well, we're only increasing the level cap by 10 on this expansion, so we gotta make sure it takes the entire expansion to level up 10 times. Because people might stop playing if they reach the new level cap before they finish the story. Except, if the story's good, they're not gonna stop. Maybe have a little more confidence in your story. So maybe they know the story's not great, and that's why they're not all that confident in their story. Because they know it's not very good. So, you know. Wow. I think we can dub this as streamer luck. If I win the jackpot. Nah, I'm not getting enough wilds. And with how things are rigged up, there's no way I'm gonna get every jackpot. Or every wild. Still a lot of casino coins. Not the few 100,000 it would be to win the jackpot, but, you know. And, like, you can have moments in your story that are meant to be the moment to breathe. Like, PSO2 does that. Like, the Arcs tournament at the end of episode 1. And also the introduction to Huey. Huey is a very, you know, he's a very friendly, happy-go-lucky guy. Like, he's a ball of positivity and energy. So, like, introducing him there makes sense. You just witnessed the rebirth of Darkfall's Elder. You're probably feeling the events of Malfencina, the sweet little bean, being nearly killed. You need that breather moment. That's, you know, it's understandable. That's fine. But, like, they don't stick on that, and they don't randomly insert it. It's at the end of something. It's at basically the end of episode 1. More or less there to set up episode 2. Which, you know, actually no, it's in between. It was at the end of a patch. That's why I keep thinking it was at the end. Because it was at the end of a patch, and then a couple months later is when we had Kuno's story. Like, it's one of those things, though, of, like, they didn't say, like they did with 14, like, well, what Square did with 14, of, you're being sent to go after Titan, so you go to gather the heroes that defeated Titan before, and you spend way too long talking with somebody who was very, very clearly not actually one of the heroes. Because it's funny. Except it's not funny. It's just kind of stupid. Now, I get humor is subjective, but I didn't find any of that funny. It was just annoying. Like, I wished they would just get on with the story. And even thinking back to it, I'm like, man, I really wish they would have just got on with the story. Because you know, Titan's a bit of a threat. Maybe we should go deal with Titan? Just maybe? Except apparently not. So it's like, especially because like after you go and you deal with that guy for too long, then you're sent to the Lalafell dude, who's a complete womanizer, which is just kind of gross, having a toddler be a womanizer. And you work with him to build a banquet. It's like, Titan's literally a problem. And that's why we're being sent to deal with it. Titan is a problem. Even if Titan itself isn't doing anything, Titan's existence is a problem that needs dealt with. Because it existing is a danger to the world, because it's absorbing all the mana, basically. It's not called mana, but aether, I think. So, like... But nah, you stop to go do the padding quest. And, like, there's a lot of story elements in quest stuff in PSO2 that's nothing but dialogue, which is fine when that dialogue matters. 14 has a lot of dialogue-only quests. I couldn't tell you what half of them even mean, because, 1, they don't matter, 2, they're completely unvoiced, and 3, the game never gave me a reason to care. Because, like, even in an instance where I don't pay attention to the story and I don't remember what's going on, oh, they'll remind me if it's important. Like, there's a few kind of absurd moments I remember from the story. Like, Moonbrita being added to the story just to be killed. There's the throwing the white Auracite at the Ascian, and it basically is a Pokeball. Even down to wiggling when it hits the freaking ground. Like... They're out here catching Ascians and Pokeballs. But, like, for the bulk of the story, I could not tell you what's going on. Because, like, it just didn't matter. The game didn't treat it like it mattered, so I didn't treat it like it mattered either. Like, that's kind of the thing with storytelling. You kind of have to care when you're writing your story to have the reader care when they read your story. Otherwise, the reader just isn't gonna care. But clearly, at least the developers behind 14 have never really heard of that concept. Or at least if they have, they don't care. Which, you know, that's kind of the problem, I suppose, is that they don't care. Um, would be nice if they did. There's a lot of potential to 14. A lot of it's kind of been squandered at this point, but there's a lot of potential there. And like, it'd be pretty cool to actually have a pretty good experience with the story, but I get the feeling if I want to have like a really good story experience with diverse, different feeling classes, I might need to go through the effort of trying to get a 11 account, but there is no really proper free trial to that game. And I'm not a big fan of subscription-based MMOs anymore. I loved EVE Online when I was younger. Thinking back to the amount of money I spent playing EVE Online, if I had just taken all of that money and saved it, considering I played from 2012 to 2019, so 7 years times 12 months times $15 a month. That was $1,260 I spent playing that game. That's a lot of money to spend on one game. And the sad thing is, I know there are some 14 players who have spent more money on 14. Because with 14, not only do you have to pay for your subscription, you also have to pay for every expansion. And you have to pay for even the base game, which I would never advise you to do. If you're not buying the subscription as, like, the expansion as well, don't buy 14. You gain nothing from it. Because just owning the base of 14, you have all the same content a free trial account has. And the free trial is, well, free. That's honestly another of my problems with that game, is just the standard, like, the standard version of the game is worthless. It's a scam. There's no real other way to describe it. You gain virtually nothing. You gain some social features, but that doesn't really matter. The story content is solo. You can't team up to do story stuff. The closest you get is waiting at a dungeon for your buddy to show up so you can party up to do it. But, like, that's it. You have to unparty the moment you're done with that dungeon, and you're not going to have another dungeon for, like, 2-3 hours of gameplay. So, like, social features don't really matter. Even down to, like, oh, well, you could send tells to people. It's like, great. Why would you care in the modern age? If you're playing with friends, you're probably talking through Discord. You'll just DM them in Discord. They're more guaranteed to see that. Unlike in-game, where they're not guaranteed to see it at all. They might be standing in a populated city and their chat just is flying by. If there's people actually talking in the cities, which there almost never is. Like, there's a lot of people that chill out in NGS just standing there showing off their cosplays. But at least they're showing off cosplays. They're not just wearing pre-clothes. Like, they're actually showing off the fruits of effort, cosplaying characters and stuff. And you can do some really cool cosplay stuff in this game. The character creator in PSO2 is the best in basically any MMO. You can change basically everything about your character. Like, it's kind of insane the amount you can do. But like, you see a crap ton of people just standing around in 14. And what makes that annoying to me is you know those people are paying money every month to stand around doing nothing. Like, what? It just doesn't make sense. Aw. Alright, well, that's enough gambling. I made a lot of tickets. Have I gotten my Star Gems for this week? I think I have. Yes, I have.
Drop in again sometime.
But yeah, like, it's one of those things of like, I don't want to overly just crap on 14. You know, like,
Welcome to our shop.
there are things to like about it. It's just, there are a lot fewer and further between than you would like. I don't remember which of those triggers I won.
You need me.
I think it's Drawn to Darkness. I don't know. I have the same amount of each. Okay. Let's see. Drawn or Cradle?
Which quest are you up for?
Drawn to Dark. Or Cradle. Cradle of Darkness. Don't want Drawn.
Come back anytime.
They're both good, but Cradle is better. You know what? Let's just put all my triggers into character storage.
Welcome to our shop.
I already don't remember. I'm tired, okay? Just gonna go to the wiki. Cradle.
you need me.
I did actually grab this, right? Yes.
Hello there.
I think this will probably be about where I end things off, because I am getting a bit tired. I don't want my filter to slip off while I'm streaming and I start breaking my own chat rules. That's why I don't stream when I'm super tired, because, like, that'll happen. I want somewhere to perch. I don't want to stand on that one. I'll draw attention standing on that one.
What do you want from me?
I want to give you a hug. That's what Claire's craze. I'll perch up here. Yeah, I'm going to see if there is maybe somebody I can raid. Probably not. I like raiding people I kind of know. There's nobody I am following that is live except a marine mammal rescue. Which I suppose I could raid the marine mammal rescue. They got otters. They're cute. But I don't know if they like people raiding them. So let's see, is there anyone else like playing? That's someone doing New Genesis. That's base game. That's a Chinese creator. Okay, no one I recognize what they're doing that's playing base game, so I will not be raiding anybody. But I will say, I do try to stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So I'll be back on Thursday for something, probably Monster Hunter. My streams are probably going to shift later into the night. I'm thinking at the moment of maybe going back to my old streaming time, so any regulars from way back then will know when I stream. Basically, anytime after midnight 1 a.m., I'll probably start streaming around then. Just because, like, my sleep schedule is clearly fricked. I'm just going to have to accept that it's fricked. But yeah. I do also have a daily Animal Crossing New Horizons series, should you like my general style of yappy content where I just ramble about things that are probably not the game I'm playing. That gets uploaded at 6 p.m. Atlantic every single day, hence it being daily. I'll actually be recording that once I finish this, because I may as well. I'll be awake, and it's almost 9 a.m., which is when it's when the shop's open. So, I have an extra video series, which is every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which is currently Star Ocean First Departure R. Really cool RPG, one of my favorite.
We have confirmed the presence of Dark Falls apprentice of Lilypaw. All ArcSops, prepare to engage.
Nah, I think I'm good. I don't feel like playing EDF right now. Actually, no, that would be Lilipa mining-based defense, which is one that nobody likes. That's tower defense. Dark Falls Apprentice on Omega is Earth Defense Force, the mission. But yeah, that's it for this one. I do thank you all for coming out and watching and hanging out with me on this very weirdly houred stream. I hope you all at least had some fun. And I'll be back probably on Thursday. Nope. Well, I mean, I'm gonna probably just be streaming late at night. So, you know, yeah. See you then.